Good afternoon, everyone. Smoky horizons in Texas. This is what it looks like from the satellite view. Europe's water crisis, how bad? 30% population showing images like this. But wait, they're removing 6,000 plus dams. What is next, do you ask? Maybe more drought. Let's overlay the drought map with the dam removal map. But why don't I trade you 6,000 dams for a new Hadron Collider? Because I'm licking my chops at the opportunities in the new world. How about you? And I'm going to start you off with some gripping images here coming out of Texas. Remember, this is just grass that's burning in high winds, but still, the night glow and the day's smoke. Orange haze, purple haze, no, orange haze. Looking at it in the satellite here, that center blob in the United States is now very visible from smoke coming off of hundreds of square miles burned. That's heat. Let's talk about cold for a second. February 28th, some of these setting new all-time cold records. Illinois West still holding on to winter. Not so fast, you summer lovers. And a quick update on the arc storm. How many is this now coming into California? Here's your snowfall forecast. The National Weather Service putting this out for the last few days of February, coming into the first day of March. And this is about how much snow they do expect. 72 inches. That's a lot. So be prepared. And all these areas of the West Coast. And with that much snow coming down, they're looking for floods in California. Enormous snowpack, but it's the opposite in Europe right now. Europe's water crisis, how bad is it? What can be done? They're looking at 30% of the EU population impacted by strained water supplies in recent years. So the headline says, nice images of empty rivers and what kind of artifacts or carved on rocks you could find from several hundred years ago. That very precarious, growing water crisis. In this image of major water reservoir, Pyrenees, French Pyrenees mountains, 80% empty due to lack of snowfall. And these types of images are a dime a dozen. You can find them all over the internet. Droughts in Europe. Seems like there's not anything holding water any longer. I wonder what would cause that. Also digging through the images, do I see a star fort that was put underwater here? Just asking for a friend, but it does have the same geometric shape as a star. Doesn't have to be a gigantic city-size one, could be a smaller one, but it's just interesting that the contours lend it to be a submerged star fort. Leave comment in the comments below, see what you think. And speaking of lower water levels revealing, let's look at Ice Age map here where England was connected over to Denmark and Greater Europe. This is the unknown continent, well now known, that has been refound. Just reduced the level of water 200 to 400 feet. And whoa, look at all this new land mass that pops up. Real estate. And why would I talk about the EU and water? Well, at those recent meetings, they were talking about the coming water crisis, something everyone agrees with. The bottom sentence there, it seems a few of the other things not everybody agreed with, but for sure water is. Food, air, water. Yeah, we can all agree on that. The Fed took the punch bowl away from the party again. The stock market's been betting on March rate cuts, but not so fast. Is this why JP Morgan and UBS are calling for a 23% drop in the S&P? The recession indicator's ringing its most severe alarm in 40 years. Call the proud Americans, the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Adapt 2030 channel. You're going to get some great in-class service. Also, Patriot Gold Group has a no fee for life IRA where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver. No fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. Right out of Politico. Italy showing 64% reduction in snowfall by mid-April, also having an effect on Lake Garda. Lago de Garda. Also, which I did a video on yesterday talking about the mud flows through Verona and the wine vineyards up there also, where they found Roman era mosaics buried in feet of soil. Same areas. They've been cultivating wine for thousands of years. We're just refining the history. And at the same time, Italy issuing a drought decree reducing the red tape for water infrastructure. And Spain comes out with the new water management plan at the same time. These overlay and overlap. In addition to the 2000 European Water Framework Directive, which is also continually updated year by year. It does call for the removal of dams in the latest several versions. So the latest scheme of things seems to be remove thousands or tens of thousands of obsolete dams in Europe, bring the rivers back to life. But where do we store the water? Only 40% of Europe's waterways are in good condition according to these different studies, WWF. Is that the World Wrestling Federation? Not sure. The pandas battling in the ring right now? Maybe I'm missing something. Dam removal Europe. All the links are in the description box below so you can chase down these interactives here. 6,223 dams removed. That's a lot of water capture. Some small ones here. This is out of Spain 2022. They just knocked the wall down there, let the water flow again. Wonder who was relying on that for irrigation behind there. Not going to ask the question. But if we jump over to the reported barriers removed by country, 2022, Spain taking the lead, 133. Do I see a 33 right there? I sure do. 23, 33, you know, the numbers are stamped everywhere. And as we come down, Sweden, France, UK, Austria, Finland. So what is next is the question as we look at this. Destroyed dams so the river can flow again. I would bet less access to water to the people because the dams holding the water to have access are being destroyed, so there won't be any dams to capture the water so people have access. What do you think? So it's kind of easy to map this one out. We go over to the interactive drought map, which is linked in the description box below. You can check out the latest droughts here in Europe, North Africa. Anywhere that you see orangish, I guess that's the color. Warning, anywhere it's red, substantial below, alert levels there. And if we overlay this on the interactive map with the dam removal projects here, as one observer noted, the Netherlands, large holes dug near coastal dunes, but that's what protects. Those are called seawalls, the dikes. Put your finger in it, stop it from breaking. This takes us back to 2021. Removed barriers. Who was taking the lead there? Spain, also followed by France. And if we jump up to 2023, suddenly there's a lot more blue, but there's a lot more water problem across the continent. This is the newest one I found here of February 2024. It's a little bit less orangey on there because it is winter, more snowfall, more rainfall coming in. But as summer sets in, you can watch the red just pockmark the map here. So keep your eyes on Spain. All these articles so far have been about Spain, Spain drought, Spain this, Spain that. So just an easy overlay here. This is the 2024 February map with the areas that dams have been removed. Do you see any overlay or similarities on that? I'll let you stop, take a look at it. If you think I'm just presenting the information. And if we look at that area sandwiched there between Budapest, Czech Republic, Munich, and Austria, there's a whole bunch of dams, but it seems to be a little bit of color up in there too. So you do the overlay and then you start to think, is it related at all? I'm not sure, but I'm just putting it out there that it possibly could be. If you take all the dams away, you have to look at it realistically, like where's the water going to be held for a nation or a continent for its peoples to be able to access what would be water during the dry season? So that's the reason the dams were put there in the first place. I know about the fish and salmon and this sort of thing, especially in the United States. But you know, we're at this teeter-totter here of we got this many people on the planet, we got this much food, we need this much ag or food produced to feed this many people. So you know where we sit. It's a conundrum, isn't it? So if we take away all the dams, there won't be enough water. That's a given. So is it affecting so far the 6,000 dams taken away? Is it affecting the amount of water captured? And that's why they're having these water droughts, 30% of the people not accessing water, 40% for agriculture. But it seems to be centered in the same countries that were the first to take the initiatives and remove the dams, just like Germany, France. What you think in the description below. I'd like to share some comments with you too. I'm trying to figure it out, so throw it and we'll all comment together on it. But in the real world, nothing goes to zero. Here is China putting out some new generation capacity. These are all new, ongoing, slated, or near completion. Quite the hefty map there, but I got you covered. I will trade you 6,000 dams for one new Hadron Collider, bro. Just one more. The little tiny LHC is off to the left there. It's only 27 kilometers. They want to build a bigger 100 kilometers. But if they don't have enough hydropower for the regular persons, where are they going to find the power for this? They're going to put their own nuclear plant there, to the future circular collider, at nearly 3 times the length and 300 times the cost of the regular LHC. That's a continent drawing system when it goes online. We wouldn't want to crack our planet in half now, would we? But with all these changes that are happening, definitely some opportunities out there. You can see everything's positioning and moving into a different way of life for all of us. So where's that opportunity, do you think? As I said, nothing goes to zero. It just shifts and moves. But while you're contemplating that, you might want to think about growing some of your own food coming here springtime. Get yourself a little less reliant on the supermarkets and also learn how to grow the food. It's a skill set, needs practice. Eventually you find your favorite and pump out a bunch of extra produce that you can trade off. That's called barter. That's worth your time also. TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom organic seeds anywhere on the planet, every grow zone. That link's in the description box with all the interactive maps, so you can go have some fun, overlay, and see if you come up with your own conclusions. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.